Hi everyone, it's Adam here at Stretch Your English. I'm here to share ideas and resources for teachers of English to speakers of other languages. In this video, I'll be sharing my pronunciation cipher, which is a fun, simple pronunciation activity which you can integrate into any lesson. It helps students to practice their pronunciation, specifically vowel sounds, and is an extension of the use of minimal pairs to assist with this. It's created with Genially, and as usual, after this quick tutorial, if you look at the description below this video here on YouTube, you will see a link to the resource. So, when you click that link, the pronunciation cipher will appear in your browser. So as you can see, we just have two sets of words at the moment. There are more coming soon, but let's try this one. So you may have used an activity like this before. I can't remember the first time I read or heard about using a pronunciation cipher in activities or games like this. But it's something which I've used over the years, and it's usually got quite a good reception from students. So I've made this interactive version on Genially, which is what I'm sharing here. So as you can see, we have 10 English words here, all of which differ in pronunciation in just the central vowel sound. As you can see, you can click each word below to hear its pronunciation. And you can play a guessing game with students. So for example, you could ask the students to guess your birth date if you want to share that. For example, maybe you could say your birth date is the Leek Lake of Licklook. So the Leek Lake, so 03 of Licklook, 1, 2. So 3rd of the 12th, 3rd of December. And then obviously the students can try with their own codes or numbers and can test you as the teacher as well as their peers. As I say, you can integrate it into your lesson in lots of different ways. Once the students are familiar with something like this, I've sometimes kept it on the board and said, right, could you please turn to page Lake Lark, for example, just as a bit of fun and to integrate the practice of pronunciation in as many ways as possible. You'll notice as well at the bottom right of the screen we have this icon. If you click that, then the phonemic script will appear for each of these central vowel sounds as well. So we can switch that on or off if we want. There are just 3 caveats, if you like, that I would add to using something like this. These are all real words, of course, but they may not be familiar to your students. So you may have to explain the meaning of some of these words if they're unfamiliar and the students want to know what they are and what they mean. This is fine, of course. It might detract from the course of the lesson a little bit, but isn't necessarily a bad thing in itself. Second thing I would mention, and something I always mention to my students as well, is that accents vary. We all know that there are a wide range of accents depending on which country you're from or even which part of a country you're from. So that's just something to bear in mind too. And that leads me to my third caveat or warning, if you like, which is that the context and the co-text is always important as well. So what's the general topic that the speaker is discussing or talking about, and what are the words around the individual word? So this is something which I just remind my students, because sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to differentiate 2 minimal pairs on their own with no context and in no sentence or with no surrounding words. So those are just 3 things I mentioned, but despite that, as I say, I've used this quite a lot over the years with students of all ages, both from sort of young teenagers up to adults, and it's usually got quite a good reception, and it's something which I'm sure I'll probably use at some point in the future, as and when necessary. In my next video, I'll be sharing something which I call the News Finder Digital Dice, which is just a simple way to set up a news article finding activity, which can help students to practice their summarising, predicting, critical thinking skills. It's another resource made with Genially, and that will be explained in my next video. As usual, please subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with these videos, or find links to all of these resources and ideas on my website, stretchyourenglish.com. You can check me out on Instagram at stretchyourenglish or send me a message directly, stretchyourenglish@gmail.com. Thanks a lot, happy teaching, see you next time.